Some of the things I'm going to say might sound a little strange, because in my work, I began to have direct contact with the ETs.
And they're telling me that you are brought here to be a channel. They're going to channel messages through you.
And this is, in fact, then what the function becomes, and what the shamans are doing. They are not consuming culture, they are generating it.
This video is about shamanism, or more accurately, the shamanic experience, which I would like to describe as a universal human experience. I would like to show you traditional ways in which shamanism unfolded throughout various cultures, and then give you some modern examples of this experience occurring in the lives of specific individuals.
A shaman is a person regarded as having access to and influence in the world of benevolent and malevolent spirits. Typically, they act as a healer, a diviner, and mediator within their community. Shamans are found in various cultures worldwide, often employing rituals, trance-like states, and communicating with spirits to address spiritual, psychological, and physical ailments. The process of becoming a shaman varies widely among different cultures, but there are some common themes. Number one, the call to shamanism. Often a person experiences a calling or spiritual awakening that sets them on the path to becoming a shaman. This could come in the form of visions, dreams, or encounters with spirits. Number two, apprenticeship or training. In many cultures, aspiring shamans undergo training under an experienced shaman or mentor. This training involves learning rituals, chants, healing practices, and methods for communicating with spirits. The apprentice typically undergoes initiation rites or rituals that mark their transition into shamanhood. These rites may involve fasting, isolation, hallucinogenic substances, or other forms of spiritual ordeal. Number four, spiritual journey or vision quest. As part of their training or initiation, the aspiring shaman often embarks on a spiritual journey or vision quest. This could involve going into the wilderness, fasting, and meditating to seek guidance from the spirits or to receive spiritual knowledge. Number five, mastery of shamanic skills. Well, over time, the apprentice develops mastery of shamanic skills, including healing, divination, and spirit communication. They may also specialize in particular areas, such as herbal medicine or ceremonial magic. In Siberia, A person may be chosen by spirits or undergo a near-death experience, followed by training under an experienced shaman. Initiations may involve visions induced by drumming, dancing, and ingestion of psychoactive substances like fly agaric mushrooms. Among Native American tribes, individuals may undergo vision quests or receive guidance from spirit animals to become shaman. They often undergo rigorous training, including learning traditional songs, rituals, and healing techniques. Amazonian Shamanism. In Amazonian cultures, aspiring shamans may ingest ayahuasca, a powerful hallucinogenic brew, to commune with spirits and gain insight into the shamanic path. They may also undergo isolation and fasting in the jungle. In Mongolia, shamans are often chosen by spirits through dreams or illness. They undergo training with an experienced shaman and may receive a spirit guide to assist them in their work. Shamans interact with the spirit world through various practices and rituals, which often involve altered states of consciousness. Shamans frequently enter trance states through drumming, chanting, dancing, or other rhythmic activities. In this altered state of consciousness, they are believed to be able to communicate with spirits, travel to other realms, and perform healing or divinatory work. Shamans act as intermediaries between the human world and the spirit world, communicating with spirits on behalf of their community. This communication can take many forms, including direct dialogue, symbolic interpretation, or receiving visions and messages. Shamans often embark on spiritual journeys or vision quests to enter the spirit world. These journeys may be undertaken in trance states or during dreams, allowing the shaman to seek guidance, retrieve lost souls, or gain insight into healing practices.
Within one of the Native American traditions, you also find the story of Black Elk. He was a shaman of the Oglala Sioux, and he had what we would call a near-death experience, where through his own unique symbols and visions, he met the Creator and was given lessons, rules, a kind of understanding to share with his people. And when he came back, not only was he a sort of a medium and a healer, but he became, a spiritual and cultural leader. And there's also the story from the Paiute people or tribe, and who was also called Jack Wilson, but you'll see him referred to as Wovoka, who was the man who was given the ghost dance, which is a controversial ceremony in some ways, but it was a message given to Wovoka after something like a near-death experience where he fell ill, and he went to the world of the unseen or the transcendent, where he met the Creator through his own symbols and was able to bring back this ghost dance to revitalize his people after all of the things that they had experienced through contact with Europeans and so forth. So another great example. So in these two previous examples, what you see is that these energies, this information, this perspective or state of consciousness brought back from the other world, from the unseen place or the spirit world, often doesn't just help the individual, but it can lead to changes, actions, a course of events that can touch the lives of many, of an entire tribe or a people or a collective.
Shamans perform rituals and ceremonies to honor and appease the spirits, often offering gifts such as food, tobacco, or other sacred items. These rituals help establish a connection with the spirit world and may facilitate healing or divination. Shamans use various techniques for divination, such as reading omens, casting lots, or interpreting the behavior of animals. Through these practices, they seek guidance from the spirits to answer questions, foresee events, or diagnose illness. Shamans believe that illness and imbalance can have spiritual causes and they work with spirits to diagnose and treat these conditions through rituals, ceremonies, and spiritual intervention. The shaman's interaction with the spirit world is characterized by a deep spiritual connection, guided by traditions, rituals, and the belief in the existence of unseen forces that influence the physical and spiritual well-being of individuals and communities. The call from spirits. The journey to becoming a shaman often begins with a call from the spirits. This call may come in the form of dreams, visions, or encounters with supernatural beings. The aspiring shaman may experience unusual phenomena or a sense of being chosen for a special purpose. In many cultures, the aspiring shaman undergoes a period of spiritual crisis or illness, during which they may experience physical or psychological symptoms. This crisis is often seen as a sign that the individual has been chosen by the spirits and must undergo a transformative process to become a shaman.
All forms of information acquisition, all forms of processing knowledge lead you finally to this, that there is always something beyond your reach, and it is that mysterious world beyond the veil. And we have different names for it. We have different names for that sacredness, that mystery. Some people think that they can do away with it entirely by pretending it doesn't exist, or by settling with one scale or level of explanation by saying, well, it's all atoms. Well, yeah, but you can go beyond that and beyond that. In accordance with their worldview and their culture, a few individuals that had this inclination and calling and this desire and this compulsion to live between worlds, as it were, to live in this physical reality, but also have a deep connection with the spirit world, as they would call it. Some of those individuals represented this amazing process, this magical mystery. They represented this process usually in three ways. They were medicine men or medicine women. They dealt with healing. And it is also true, they were prophets. And they were also keepers of the myths, of the stories, of the explanations for the world. If you think about it, they deal in causes, right? The reason for things. So if we know you're sick in some way, if we know how you got there, we can undo it. If I'm the keeper of the stories and the traditions, then I can frame this world that we exist in with my language, with my narrative. And of course, prophecy, because when they deal with causes, they can see past the small, local, detailed events and look at the universal, look at the larger scales and the big cyclical events. In one language, the shaman has helped the tribe by bringing back something of value from the spirit world. In another language, that writer, that author, that speaker, that person whose thoughts you read, and they sparked that craving and desire for you to return to that all-powerful essence in you, then that person went through the journey and has come back with gifts, you see? It's all symbolic. And we label it and we describe it with the cultural norms and tools that we have on hand.
The reason I think that shamanism is so important is because I think what it really boils down to is a revaluing of personal identity. And that when you strip away the feathers and the chants and all the anthropological gimcrackery that goes along with it, what makes it so compelling and so attractive is that it is a more authentic state of being. So the shaman's intellectual horizon in terms of what we call historicity is very foreshortened. Consequently, everything has to be explained out of energy that is unleashed in the psyche, energy of speculation, of myth-making, of imagination. And this is, in fact, then what the function becomes and what the shamans are doing. They are not consuming culture, they are generating it. And herein lies the point for us. We must generate culture rather than consume it.
The connection between shamanic experiences and modern alien abduction has been explored by some researchers and scholars, drawing parallels between the two phenomena. While the cultural context and interpretation may differ, there are intriguing similarities that suggest a common underlying psychological and spiritual experience. In the context of modern Western culture, individuals who might have been inclined to become shamans in other cultures could experience their contact with the spirit world through the filters of modern cultural phenomena, such as science fiction, technology, and popular media. This can influence how they interpret and make sense of their experiences of contact with supernatural beings or otherworldly entities. For example, individuals who report experiences of alien abduction often describe encounters with beings from advanced civilizations who possess advanced technology and exhibit mysterious powers. These beings are sometimes perceived as healers or guides who impart spiritual knowledge and facilitate personal transformation. In some cases, the healing aspects of alien abduction experiences parallel those of shamanic rituals. Individuals may report undergoing physical or psychological healing during their encounters with aliens, with some describing profound transformations or spiritual awakenings as a result.
Some of the things I'm going to say might sound a little strange, because in my work I began to have direct contact with the ETs. And that's pretty broad, but they're the ones that have been answering the questions and been telling me what's actually going on during the regressions. They said that the ideal situation would be that the person never remember anything, that they be totally blanked out, because that's the way it's supposed to be. These things have been going on since the beginning of Earth, and many of these people, they have been following them through their life with testings and with helping them their entire life. So it'd be better if they don't remember so they can go on with their life. I've had a lot of cases where people will be driving on a highway and see a huge UFO right over the freeway. They pull off to watch it, and they can't figure out, why does everybody just keep driving? They should be slamming on their brakes and stopping to see what it is, because it's a very individual thing. The sightings and the experiences are only for the person they're intended for. Many people will have experiences and their husband's in bed asleep, and it's not for them, it's just for the one person. So it's a very individual thing. There's many cases of them appearing as animals, and owls is very common because they don't want to harm the person's psyche if they can. They want to be as easy about the whole thing as they can. And they will appear as animals and birds doing strange things. People have asked me if I had any contact with them, only through the people I work with. And they're very personal. They have changed my diet, they've taken care of me and advised me on where to go and where not to go, so I consider them as friends. If there is a message from them, is that they do want us to join with them eventually. But they want us to know we are children of the stars. We have been created and taken care of since the beginning of time. They have no desire to harm us. They are our caretakers. And they love the species because they love the way it's developing. They don't like what we're doing. But if there's a message, it's to let people know that they are not negative and they are here to help us. They will eventually appear in mass, but it won't be until we get our act together. And at that time, they will appear and let everyone know they're here. And they said at that time they would also give us lots of medications and cures and help the bodies.
The beings encountered in alien abduction experiences share characteristics with supernatural beings encountered in shamanic traditions. They may be perceived as wise elders, benevolent spirits, or powerful entities, capable of transcending the limitations of the physical world.
And then she said, and they're telling me that you are brought here to be a channel. They're going to channel messages through you, but not for a long time yet, not now. But ultimately, that's what they're going to do, is they're going to use you as a channel. And they're going to put you into a position where you will be heard by important people. And when that time comes, they will speak through you. And she said, but they're telling me to remind you, you are not an ambassador, you are an emissary. An ambassador speaks for the government he represents. You do not speak for anyone. An emissary merely delivers a message. You're not speaking for anyone. And they're telling me to tell you, to make sure you understand that. So that you're an emissary, not an ambassador. And you will be able to just deliver the message, and the message will come from them, through you.
This parallels the role of spirit guides, ancestral guardians, and divine beings in shamanic cosmology. It's important to note that the interpretation of these experiences is heavily influenced by cultural beliefs, personal beliefs, and the broader social context. While some individuals may experience or interpret their experiences through the lens of modern alien abduction narratives, others may frame them within the framework of religious or spiritual traditions, psychological phenomena, or personal mythology.
In around 1973, I became convinced for a while that I was receiving messages from outer space. But then a psychic reader told me I was actually channeling an ancient Chinese philosopher, and another psychic reader told me I was channeling a medieval Irish bard. And at that time, I started reading neurology, and I decided it was just my right brain talking to my left brain. And then I went to Ireland, and I found out it was actually a 6-foot-tall white rabbit. They call it the puka, and the Irish know all about it. So it depends on who I'm talking to, which of these metaphors I use to explain where these weird patterns come from that jump out of the books and take hold of the readers and change their lives. It's not me, it's a 6-foot-tall white rabbit from County Kerry. Or it's the right hemisphere of everybody's brain. Mm-hmm. We're only different in the left hemisphere.
Whether interpreted as encounters with spirits, extraterrestrial beings, or manifestations of the subconscious mind, these experiences reflect the universal human quest for meaning, healing, and connection to the mysteries of the cosmos. Manifestations of the subconscious mind refer to experiences, thoughts, emotions, or perceptions that arise from the deeper layers of the mind, beyond conscious awareness. These manifestations can include dreams, fantasies, memories, and symbolic imagery that emerge from the unconscious and influence conscious thoughts and behaviors. In the context of shamanic experiences and modern alien abduction narratives, manifestations of the subconscious mind may play a significant role in shaping individuals' perceptions and interpretations of their encounters. Many shamanic journeys and alien abduction experiences involve symbolic imagery and surreal landscapes that reflect the deeper layers of the psyche. These symbols may be interpreted differently based on cultural background, personal beliefs, and psychological factors.
You must go out alone into the darkness. You must face your deepest fears.
But Shaman, I'm afraid of the darkness.
That, my son, is why you must go. You went into the darkness as a boy. Now you must go into the wilderness as a man.
Carl Jung, a renowned psychologist, proposed the concept of archetypes, universal symbols, and themes that emerge from the collective unconscious. Shamanic experiences and alien abduction narratives often contain archetypal elements, such as the journey of the hero, the encounter with the divine, or the quest for enlightenment. Cultural beliefs, myths, and narratives can shape individuals' interpretations of their experiences. In some cultures, encounters with spirits or otherworldly beings are seen as natural aspects of the spiritual world, while in others, they may be interpreted through the lens of modern science fiction or conspiracy theories. Manifestations of the subconscious mind provide a framework for understanding how individuals interpret and make sense of their experiences. Whether they involve encounters with spirits, aliens, or other supernatural phenomena, these experiences are deeply personal and influenced by a complex interplay of psychological, cultural, and spiritual factors. The concept that the subconscious realm may be more real than the external world is a philosophical perspective that has been explored by thinkers throughout history, particularly in the realm of metaphysics and existential philosophy. While it's a matter of interpretation and belief, some arguments can be made to support this perspective. From a subjective standpoint, our experiences are mediated by our perceptions, thoughts, and emotions, all of which are influenced by the workings of our subconscious mind. Therefore, one could argue that our subjective experience of reality is shaped more by our internal mental processes than by external stimuli, leading some to question the nature of reality and the boundaries between the inner and outer worlds.
Well, how do you separate the inside from the outside?
Well, that is one of the difficulties. That's why people get embroiled in weirdities while they're reading my books, because I'm dissolving the difference between the inside and the outside. Like most people think their head is inside the universe, but I have demonstrated in several of my books that the universe is inside our heads. Our head is outside the universe. This whole studio, for instance, it's got to be inside my head or I wouldn't be aware of it. I've got a model of it inside my head. Mm-hmm. Now, inside that model of the studio is a model of me, and on top of the model of me is a model of my head. But that's not my real head. My real head contains the studio and my body and this model of a head. And it's the same with the whole universe. The whole universe is a model contained in my head, which contains a model of my head. So I've got two heads, the head outside the universe and the head inside the universe. Now, that should be perfectly clear. But if it isn't, Bertrand Russell has a proof using six-dimensional geometry in his book, The Nature of Human Knowledge. I hope that clarifies which is inside and which is outside.
The subconscious mind encompasses a vast reservoir of thoughts, memories, beliefs, and instincts that influence conscious thoughts and behaviors. Some argue that this depth of consciousness represents a richer and more profound aspect of human existence than the surface-level experiences of everyday life. The subconscious mind is believed to be interconnected with the collective unconscious, a deeper layer of the psyche that contains universal symbols, archetypes, and patterns shared by all humanity. From this perspective, the subconscious realm may represent a fundamental aspect of human consciousness that transcends individual identity and connects us to the broader fabric of existence. While the subconscious mind undoubtedly plays a role in shaping our perceptions and experiences, the external world, whatever that is, also exerts a tangible influence on our lives, providing the context and stimuli through which we navigate our existence. Ultimately, questions about the nature of reality, consciousness, and the subconscious realm remain deeply philosophical and open to interpretation, reflecting humanity's ongoing quest to understand the mysteries of existence. Different individuals and cultures may offer diverse perspectives on these profound and complex questions, each shedding light on different aspects of the human experience.